Hello, and thanks for hanging out with me while I get ready really quickly just for a day at home. I don't always do my makeup when I'm hanging out at home. I have a 1-year-old son, and I don't always have time to put on makeup, but I do make sure that I do it every so often throughout the week, even if I'm not leaving, mainly for my own mental sanity. I feel like I like a good balance between having my makeup done and then not having it done throughout the week. I feel like I can really appreciate the feeling of no makeup on my skin on some days and then also feeling a little bit more put together when I'm just at home. So I'm going to keep it really, really simple. I just started with the tinted moisturizer by NARS. I first applied moisturizer, which is what I was doing right when this live started. And I'm just going to work this tinted moisturizer onto my complexion with my fingertips. I'm just really warming it up in my hands. And this is about the amount that I apply at a time. I'm not applying a whole lot. If you have been subscribed to my channel, you know that I am all about adding a little bit of makeup at a time. And then if I need to add more, I can always go back and add more. But since I'm at home today, keeping it quick, easy, simple. All right, a little bit of tinted moisturizer. Going to grab my handy, trusted brow pencil and just kind of focus on the arches of my brow and the tails. And if you can hear in the background, my son is eating lunch. So I'm going to work as fast as possible just to have a quick Sunday hang out at home look. Okay, going to take a little bit of a powder bronzer. I am really big into creams usually for creating contrast and just dimension in the complexion. But I am going to use a powder. I'm going to be really, really soft-handed because I'm doing powder straight onto the tinted moisturizer that I just applied. So it's going to stick really easily if I don't have a light hand. And I'm going in circular motions just to help blend that product out so it doesn't have like a stripe of color. I will go backwards in my steps a little bit just to kind of fix anything as I see fit. But see like how that just like showed exactly what I was just talking about. If you first lay it down and you just apply, see how there's like a mark here. So if that happens, you can just kind of keep going back and forth, but try to be light-handed and that will help blending significantly. And because again, I haven't really set my makeup with cream or with powder, I can still move everything around even though I just used a powder bronzer. This is also Laguna by NARS. I'm going to also take the Orgasm X blush by NARS and work it into this brush and then just give it a little bit, give my complexion a little bit of color at the top of my cheekbones here. Now, I also have a blemish right here, and this is going to be, it's falling in my blush placement. Honestly, I am not going to focus too much on really giving concealer coverage to that blemish. It's already in a zone that's going to be a little bit more colorful, so I'm not going to worry about it. And also I'm at home. I don't really care if that blemish is kind of showing through. I'm just going to let it be. Let it be as is. Continue on. So I'm grabbing just this Nude Sticks Magnetic Matte Eye Color. It's in the color taupe. I am a really big fan of using taupe tone colors, especially on fair complexions like myself and light colored eyes. I feel like it's a really good base to use and you can build other colors on top of it easily. I'm just gonna use my fingertips actually. So again, this is a very quick, casual way to do your makeup. If you're just at home and you want to just feel a little bit more put together, it doesn't have to be a million steps and it doesn't have to take a lot of time. You can literally do your makeup without it having to be stressful and without it having to be this huge event part of your day. All right, I'm gonna add just a little bit more. I'm basically using my camera as my mirror. I have a mirror in front of me, but it's a little bit further and harder to see. So I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, so see how I was able to First, apply the depth at the base of my lid, and then I'm just using my fingertips to kind of like stamp. Like I grab the product and then I move it around and try to keep it darkest at the lash line. All right. I grabbed my Pat McGrath palette. This is the Moonlit Seduction palette. And I'm just taking this gold color and I'm going to, once again, just use my fingertips and press this onto the lid. This is like a shimmery gold tone color. So I just want to brighten it up a little bit. So I'm just going to apply it onto the center of my eyes. I'm going to throw on some mascara. Once I find my mascara, here it is. All right. Couple things that I think are really important for people to remember when they're doing their makeup or just their approach to makeup is that one, it doesn't have to be perfect. Two, if you have been doing the same thing over and over again, try to just switch up your routine. I am constantly grabbing new things every time I do my makeup to try to just challenge myself to get out of the habit of using the same things over and over again. The more you do that, the more you'll learn. And another thing I want to mention that I hear a lot of women talk about is just feeling like they're not confident with their makeup application. So either that's where they fall into doing the same thing over and over again, or they just decide to opt out of doing makeup, period. And if you're comfortable with not wearing makeup, I fully support that. And like I said at the beginning, I like to have days where I don't wear makeup. So then that way I can have a little break and just feel like my skin is fresh and doesn't have anything on it. So I appreciate my non-makeup days just as much as my makeup days. And I think it's important to constantly see yourself in different ways. So then that way you're not just putting yourself in a box with you only look this one certain way. I think it's just important to embrace all of the ways that you look with makeup and without makeup. And that goes for all situations as well. Okay, keeping my mascara pretty simple here. I always spend a lot of time on my mascara. I just feel that if your lashes look their best, I think that it really draws a lot of attention to the eyes. Whereas if they're really clumpy, it will draw attention to the eyes, but not necessarily in an enhancing way. So I'm going to keep the bottom clean. Again, I'm just at home today, so I don't really need to be super glammed up. This was just to jump on and do a quick makeup, which is exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to just set my makeup with a little bit of loose powder very quickly, just to kind of get it in place. Also, I did not use any concealer today. I'm just going with the tinted moisturizer. I don't want my makeup to I call it like stamping off. So when you don't set your makeup, it has the ability to not only evaporate throughout the day, but if you, like me, have a baby at home that likes to be really close to you and snuggle, you don't want your makeup to be getting all over your baby. So setting it with a little bit of loose powder really helps keep everything in place and kind of helps a little bit more of like that non-sticky feeling. So just grabbing a little bit of powder on my brush at a time, like this is about the amount that I'm using, and I even stamp it or I press it against something else before I go to my complexion just to make sure that I don't over powder. Um, there's a time and a place when you put more powder on, but today's not that day. All right, this is it. I am just quickly getting myself together, going for it. If anything was helpful, let me know in the comments. And I will look forward to seeing you next week for my weekly live. See you soon.